The Pacific is waking up, and what's forming right now could become a climate catastrophe unlike anything seen in modern history. A monster El Nino is rapidly exploding across the Pacific Ocean, fueled by surging sea surface temperatures and violent upward atmospheric motion that is literally supercharging the system in real time. Over the last several weeks, ocean temperatures have continued to skyrocket, and now the atmosphere is responding. Massive rising air motion directly over the ENSO region is acting like jet fuel for this developing El Nino, allowing it to intensify at an alarming pace. The latest projections are beyond extreme. By June, the world will likely officially enter El Nino conditions, but that's only the beginning. By July and August, ocean temperatures could surge toward dangerous territory, with anomalies approaching +2 degrees Celsius. Then by September and October, the situation may spiral into historic territory. Some of the newest forecast models are now showing this event potentially reaching nearly +3 degrees Celsius, levels that would rival or even surpass the strongest El Nino ever recorded, including the legendary events dating back to the late 1800s. And the frightening part, it may not even peak until December. If this forecast verifies, humanity could be staring at the most powerful El Nino in recorded history. This isn't just an ocean story, this is a global atmosphere takeover. The Pacific heat is expected to spread across the United States like a furnace, unleashing widespread extreme heat, suffocating humidity, explosive severe weather outbreaks, torrential flooding, and an atmosphere loaded with tropical moisture. The polar jet stream is weakening and retreating north, while the subtropical jet begins to dominate, opening the floodgates for Gulf moisture to surge deep into the country. That means dangerous dew points, oppressive humidity, and repeated rounds of violent storms from Texas to the Midwest, and eventually much of the eastern United States. Severe thunderstorms could intensify dramatically as cooler western troughs collide with this expanding tropical heat dome, creating a setup capable of producing destructive winds, giant hail, flash flooding, and tornado outbreaks. The atmosphere is already showing signs of transformation. Texas drought conditions are rapidly collapsing. Louisiana and the Gulf Coast have already seen flooding rains overperform in shocking fashion, with some locations receiving nearly a foot of rain in a single weekend. And as the El Nino strengthens, even more moisture is expected to spread northward into the plains, Great Lakes, and Northeast. Meanwhile, the desert Southwest may soon face an unusually early and potentially hyperactive monsoon season, with tropical moisture pushing into New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona far earlier than normal. Hawaii could also face relentless above-average rainfall as the Pacific continues to overheat. Forecast guidance now suggests this climate pattern may not disappear anytime soon. El Nino could dominate not only the rest of 2026, but continue well into 2027. The atmosphere is changing fast, and this may only be the beginning. Meteorologists are now warning that the atmosphere may be entering a completely different phase, one capable of reshaping weather patterns across the planet for the next 12 to 18 months. The Pacific Ocean is no longer simply warming, it is rapidly transforming into an enormous heat engine, pumping energy into the atmosphere at a rate rarely witnessed in recorded history. And once that energy fully couples with the atmosphere, the consequences could become explosive. The concern now is not just the strength of this El Nino, it's the speed. Ocean temperatures are rising far faster than normal, and the atmosphere appears to be responding immediately. Warm water continues to expand eastward across the equatorial Pacific, while powerful west wind bursts inject even more heat into the system. That process acts like throwing gasoline onto a fire already burning out of control. As we move deeper into summer, forecasters fear that the United States could become trapped beneath a volatile collision zone, scorching tropical heat surging northward while colder disturbances dive in from the west. That setup is notorious for producing dangerous severe weather outbreaks, and this time, the atmosphere may have unlimited fuel. Extreme humidity levels are expected to spread far beyond the Gulf Coast, reaching deep into the Midwest, Great Lakes, and even parts of the Northeast. Cities that normally avoid tropical-like air masses could suddenly experience suffocating heat indices, relentless nighttime warmth, and repeated flash flood events. The jet stream pattern is also becoming increasingly alarming. With the polar jet retreating northward, storm systems may begin slowing down and stalling. That dramatically raises the risk for catastrophic flooding because thunderstorms could repeatedly repeatedly track over the same regions for days at a time. Some models are already hinting at rainfall totals capable of overwhelming rivers, infrastructure, and drainage systems across multiple states. At the same time, drought-stricken areas in the Southwest may swing violently in the opposite direction. Tropical moisture from the Pacific and Gulf could collide over the desert regions, triggering an unusually early monsoon season loaded with intense thunderstorms, flash floods, and dangerous lightning outbreaks. And hurricane season may become another major concern. Historically, strong El Nino patterns can disrupt Atlantic hurricane activity, but they can also supercharge the Pacific Basin with explosive tropical development. With ocean temperatures already running abnormally warm, forecasters are closely monitoring the possibility of unusually powerful Pacific cyclones developing later this year. Around the globe, the impacts could become even more severe. Historic heat waves, agricultural disruption, water crises, coral bleaching events, wildfire expansion, extreme rainfall, infrastructure failures, food supply stress, energy demand surges. Every major climate signal appears to be flashing red simultaneously. This is no ordinary climate cycle anymore. The atmosphere is behaving like it's under pressure, building towards something much larger. And if current projections continue trending upward through autumn and early winter, the world may soon witness a climate event that future generations will study for decades.